Hello and welcome back. Today we're continuing our Krakow run, where border gore isn't real and it can't hurt you. Except it does. It hurts our soul so much, and we're the cause. Terrible. Last episode, we kind of cranked up a little bit. We went from 40 million GDP to 31 million, and we also tripled construction. This episode, we kind of got two things coming up that I think we're going to be doing. Is one, we're going to be expanding the army dramatically, setting ourselves up for an eventual fight with Russia, where we're going to really up the numbers on a lot of these. We're going to make kind of 2 fighting battalions, roughly speaking, is going to be the plan. And I think that we've made kind of a bit of a mistake with this ideological union. We have very little cohesion. We're really not gaining mandates very quickly, and I think that this overall was a mistake. I think it would have been better to just not form a bloc to begin with. But beyond that, I think that a trade bloc is probably better because we acquire mandate faster and we get access to bonuses faster. And I think this dream of having enough cohesion to start resetting people's migration is kind of a bit of a dream. And also, Heavenly Kingdom is a subject anyways, and okay, they don't have the most pop. They don't have too many places of pop, but they have a decent amount of pop, and they already have open borders, and so we could siphon off migrants from them. They have 50 million pops, we have 30 million pops, and so we don't even need to be able to force change people's things, their laws, in order to allow immigration, and I just think that we're not going to get to that point anyways. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave and found a new block. However, we do like this 10% construction, so it's a little bit of a weird situation. The thing is we will get minus 30 relations with everyone who owns a block when this happens. So I think what we're going to do is I wish we had a way to make Great Britain give us a lot more positive relations with Great Britain, because they're kind of our last ally, and we kind of want to maybe renew good relations with France if we can. We really want France and Great Britain to be on our side, and I feel like leaving this block and starting a new block is going to ruin that to some extent. So I think we're going to stick in with this a little while longer, but if we just founded a new block, we would be getting mandate very, very quickly if it was a trade block. And I think that maybe ideological union is just kind of not something you want to do if you're just utilizing having a lot of subjects as a means of doing stuff, because we're going to have wildly different laws from our subjects, so the way we generate mandate is just not fast enough. So yeah, this is the current situation in terms of attitude towards us. We would like these two to be green, and so we'll work towards that. The other thing is, I think that if we maybe leave the block now, though, maybe this makes resets the attitude towards France and Great Britain. So actually, I think we're going to leave the block now, with the hopes that this allows us to get other positive things going on. And to be fair, we could join someone else's block. This is not like against the rules. We just don't. Here, can we click on them? We wouldn't hate being part of the United Front. I guess we would hate being called to wars, but we would have market unification with this block, so we would probably be siphoning off migrants. The thing is, we would not be able to control what things happen. I don't think we would necessarily like foreign investment, but we could. The minus 50% cost from nationalization, maybe we just end up nationalizing everything that Great Britain buys, but then that gives us negative relations. We can't join Russia because we're going to fight Russia. And then those are the 3 options. So we're going to get negative relations with all the... we could join them, but we're not going to join them. Well, is that insane? Now, we still need to peel one more province off of them, but maybe that wouldn't be insane for us to join Germany's bloc. I mean, they hit our guts, so there's that, but we're going to try leaving now, though. After a little bit of just kind of talking through it, because I think that maybe the positive relation, maybe this will help relations. See, right now they're wary. Are they going to have a new attitude score update? They still view us as a natural enemy. Maybe this natural enemy thing goes away if we don't have a block. Now, we do lose 10% construction efficiency bonus, which we're gutted, but maybe we can make use of this, and we'll just kind of continue trying to come up here. So we were actually planning on researching this relatively soon, but the minus 25% infamy generation, I think, is additive on multilateral alliances, which is new. I think it's additive with cautious, which is going to make cautious really, really good, because when you have more of an additive modifier, minus 45% infamy generation, that's a really, really strong dip. I think we're also going to be making Poland today in this episode, because we just need to peel one state off of either Russia or Germany in order to be able to do so. Alright, in the few months we've waited, we haven't managed to get any kind of change in attitude as a result of things shifting in the sands because us not being a block. Ooh, did we want to do the octopus? I think we kind of like the double-headed eagle. I think we're going to go with basically the same design that we had last time in regards to what our power block is looking like, but we're going to do a trade league this time because we will be able to generate mandate much easier with a trade league, and internal trade is kind of something we're a fan of anyways. The convoy contribution to owner modifier is going to be nice. We currently have 1k negative convoys. We're getting 1k from our subjects with their contribution, and we do want to keep an eye on, okay, Japan's giving us 25% contribution, so when we get this additional 20%, is it going to go from 25% to 45%? I don't think it's going to work like this. I think it's going to be a multiplicative modifier, but 25% extra on top of this is going to bring it up to like 32-ish%, and so I think we're going to form the block here. It's going to deteriorate relations with everyone. We hope that Great Britain doesn't hate us afterwards, but everyone else kind of already hates us, so it's not too big a deal. And here you can see our cohesion is actually increasing now because it's based off of stuff like input goods shortages and, you know, blocks' ability to have maintain economic dependence and this type of stuff. And we see the Heavenly Kingdom. So first up, Heavenly Kingdom is completely independent, so we'll be switching that up because now they kind of have access to us. But also we see, hey, look, we're getting way more wait, that's not even, that math's not mathing. How's that 25% more or 20% more? That's 40% more. That's so much contribution. Is that because, why is that? Bruh. Okay, well that kind of solves the convoy problem to a large extent. Look at our thing go up just right as that happened. And what we want to do is these guys, this guy, I think actually we have to do it through the subject interaction. We're going to come and look at all of our many subjects. Look, behold my stuff. And we're going to revoke their market control, which they'll get a little bit mad at us. A lot of people will get a little bit mad at us. We hope that they don't use Russia to beat us down like Chile did last episode. But I think we'll improve relations with them as well. Might as well. But now they are inside of our market. And also, let's just take a look at this. Weekly migration. Alright, so we see one is minus 14k. And then this is minus 4. Now they are inside of our market because we have a market from the thing, or also from having them as a subject. Are they going to start migrating out? I guess we're getting a little bit more migration. Actually, what am I saying? I don't think we have a Han cultural community, but once we get one, we'll maybe be in good shape. I know that we have some cultural communities for some of their minorities, but I don't think we have a Han one. Or we have a Han one here. Okay, so are we going to acquire more Han pops in this province? Remains to be seen. Alright, well, fair enough. We'll see how things develop, but for now, if we take a look at our power block, instead of getting these like every 14 years, we're getting them every 5, and this is with the cohesion that's going up slightly. Looks like Dynam is kind of not feeling it, and then Chile is not feeling us, which it do be like that. We're on the same side of the conflict as them, but we'll improve relations with Chile and try and figure this out. Or once we get this, it should help out a little bit. Also getting some native uprisings. We currently aren't decaying any infamy, which feels real bad, but I think that we want to do a relatively high infamy play, and we're trying not to acquire infamy because we were trying to avoid going into poor relations with France, but I guess it doesn't matter now. Great Britain, what a great ally you might be, except for you're kind of getting hosed right now, so yeah. Alright, we've decided to go for it with a plan to just kind of try and hold on for forever until we get Trenchworks researched up, which is maybe not the best plan, but I think that with us kind of scraping the barrel in terms of conscription and the fact that we can raise taxes one notch, which is pretty nice, we can delete a little bit of construction, it's all going to be, ooh, we can decrease the government wages, don't like that, and we will be able to, I think, sneak this one out against Russia. Currently, they're not super optimistic, so we don't want to put in too many war goals, I guess, but it does seem to be the case that, and we get Spain siding with them, which we expected, but it does seem we also would be more than happy to give up a humiliation and maybe trade Pomerania in terms of a transfer. We're really not that committed to Pomerania, and so maybe these war goals will be useful to us, but I think that we're going to take Kaunas and Vilnius, and with that we will be able to form Poland. And with all of our war goals, we will completely cut off the Polish land. So I'm thinking that we might even be able to form Poland and then keep fulfilling Christ of Nations in order to foster Polish radicals. And then there will be an enclave here that will have zero market access, and so it'll collapse, which is kind of what we're hoping. And so what we're waiting for is a little bit later in the play, so because I think we can avoid going over... We might be able to avoid going over high infamy. If we take a look at Karunas, we see that it is applying additively with our cautious guy and the technology, so we're getting minus 45% cost after everything's calculated. So we're taking, look at like the cost of these states, it's so low relative to normal, but what we want to take is Vilnius and the other, and Karunas, which is going to kick us over 25, unfortunately, which... We're wishing we were on the same side of a play as the UK now, because the UK might, we've noticed the AI is a lot more aggressive in some spots, and a little bit worried about giving negative relations, taking us under a certain threshold here. We're hoping the fact that we're at war with their enemy is maybe helpful. We can't sway anyone on our side because they have truces, and so maybe would have been more timely to wait, but at the same time we kind of want to get started on Poland, so this is perhaps, well, actually this is probably just way too high risk a play, but I think that, I mean, we're not assigning to fronts, that way we don't attrition down kind of at the outset here, and we do have a lot of recruiting coming in, both from the conscripts and the other stuff, so I'm thinking we can hold, and then look to attrition them out in a long war, which means we want to acquire at least a decent chunk of infamy. Alright, so the war is afoot. We're slowly pulling up an advantage, but we do seem to be losing the very first salvo of wars. I think that we couldn't get all of our troops back in time, which is, of course, not ideal. But where's their navy at? Do they just not have a navy, or is it just raiding our guts? It's probably raiding our guts. This is something that we have to be a little bit concerned about, because convoys have been a continuous problem, but I think we're going to try and land Ingria here and maybe try and mess them up. I don't see anyone defending. Visually, I don't see anyone on the map defending any sort of thing, and so if we could just land their capital and look to try and get some enforcements faster, that'd be nice. It looks like, are they really sending over to this? Well... That is one of their war goals, but I don't think it's their only war goal. If that's their only war goal, we would be in trouble, but they have to transfer Pomerania and humiliate us. So this is starting to look very promising now with us defending. This cooperative ownership thing is very, very concerning as well, though. We can't actually pass this. We could abdicate to this rev if it's looking like there's no way for us to possibly win this, but we don't want to go cooperative ownership at this current juncture. We do see, okay, now they're defending. Fair enough, so we'll just cancel this. And now they have a 25 stack that's sitting there and occupied, that maybe shouldn't be occupied, and we will, I guess, continue to do this back and forth if they want to kind of occupy. If this 15 stack can occupy 50 worth of defenders, we're super okay with that. Again, only on defense right now, just looking to churn through troops, just looking to get kills for now, and then we will look to push a little bit later. There's kind of two things we want to be able to push for. Mass conscription, which will radicalize these guys, so we're not pushing for it right now, but also trench infantry. Once we get that, we should be in really good shape, but we see they have twice as many, or roughly twice as many dead and wounded, and while we don't control any war goals currently, I think that this is starting to look pretty nice for us. We are continuing to recruit up more guys, and it's looking like we can play this little game of cat and mouse, because they are adding another person over here, so we can just cancel this and not lose the troops. and we will continue to do this back and forth. We have another navy as well that is recruiting up with the intention of landing the Indo army over here, but if they're just going to come over there with a whole bunch of troops, I think we will start moving the Indo army to this front, and so the only thing that is very concerning is the money situation. So I think we're going to do this kind of ahead of time, and it's unfortunate the rev didn't go away. This rev was brewing in response to us passing Presidential Republic, and we really would have liked for it to go away, because if it went away for just 1 second, we would have deleted a bunch of construction sectors. Now we're kind of in a situation where we could pause construction, but we have a little bit of a ticking clock. Also, they're almost certainly going to raid our convoys. We haven't seen any raids coming in yet, but if they do raid our convoys, this will put us in a little bit of a tricky spot because we don't even have any convoys to begin with. We have started advancing with one singular general, and that is General Desert. I can't pronounce his name. I don't know why I tried. But he has expert offensive planner. He also has cruel. We're having him in on pillage. He's imposing as well. So I think that he's going to be a pretty solid advancer, and he's winning his first battle. It looks like we also get in over there, which is super nice. I think that we're going to set in kind of a little bit of a perimeter guy, but considering that we got in, really wasn't expecting to get in there. We kind of changed exactly where we were going on. I think we're going to recruit a couple guys, set them on rapid advance. Let's just kind of check some of these ideologies and traits, and let them have a little bit of a go here. If they don't send anyone over, if that 15 stack's not really going to be enough to stop us, especially with us moving this stack, we might want to stop advancing here, but I think they're going to start pulling off stacks, and so we will still have an advantage here even after this battle. We're still kind of looking, okay, they occupied us over there, which is going to give us negative ticking war score, but they can't tick us below 0 with the current setup because they need to take our capital, so we should be in fine shape. Kind of looking, I know we had recruited another boat. We're waiting for one of these boats to get completed, that way we can maybe do a little bit of a cheeky landing. But no, the cheeky landing's probably unnecessary. We see that they're sending about as many as we're sending here. We could probably switch these guys to defense, at least on a temporary basis, and just try and slowly churn through them. This is one of our war goals, so it's super good that we have this because we will give them more ticking negative score. We don't have all the war goals. We still need Vilnius and liberate Belarus, and so but we should be kind of progressing towards that right now, and we are going to get ticking battles here. I think we're just defending here. I think that we just defend here with this guy or these two. And then with these guys, we look to re-land repeatedly in other places. So unfortunately, in order to avoid a rev, we end up having to abdicate. So now we have Council Republic cooperative ownership, which wasn't exactly what we wanted, but perhaps it's what we deserve. This war is continuing to go relatively well. It was probably a little bit premature. We're waiting for these battles to go away for this account so that they can re-land somewhere else. And we are continuing to push one little province at a time with this guy who has a lot of extra offense and so is in good shape to be doing this. I think that we had another company that we were brewing up that had, for the purposes of just defending... Was this gentleman? No, this wasn't this gentleman. I could have sworn, okay, this guy, they're not ready yet. They're not ready to cook. We do have to keep an eye on if there's a naval landing. We have to make some very significant adjustment. Probably splitting off from this army in order to defend against the naval invasion, but so far they haven't tried it. The AI generally doesn't like to go for naval invasions if they have a front, even though naval invasions, tactically speaking, is one of the very best things, and we see that we do get a little bit free here, and so what we could do is we could start landing this coast to try and push stuff up this way, but I think we're going to just take a little bit of a cheeky look at the capital. I don't think that this works most of the time, but if they're, yeah, so it looks like they're moving the guys over to defend against this, and this isn't going to work. So let's just look at the strategic region, because I think they're particularly babying the capital strategic region. I said let's look at the strategic, can we look at the strategic region, please? Okay, so we could probably not land Russia where there's Ingria, but I think we could probably land all of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to cancel the naval invasion here, and we're just going to look to gain a little bit extra progress by taking out North Livonia, basically effectively just reforming the or resetting. This will also reset the what is it, the front, which we are currently losing pretty bad on. But we're winning really hard on this one, so I think that we might take a look and see if we have anyone else with an offensive planner. We do have another offensive planner, so we're going to set him in an advanced front, and I think we're going to recruit another person. We really want someone with a good trait, so why don't we just recruit out some guys. Yeah, that guy is probably a little bit mad about current state of affairs. The defender's a pretty good one. We'll see if we'll recruit him to this guy, because we'll be able to make use of them here when they're defending up there in the north. And we got to churn through a lot of guys in order to find kind of what we want, I think. Which is we want an offensive planner or someone. Artillery commander is pretty good too, so we could heavy barrage. So we'll put that guy in as well. He's got shell shock, but you know, it happens sometimes. Alright, with the conscripts coming up, two things are happening. One, we're starting to crush on this front. Two, we're going to run out of money. So we're in a bit of a bind. We are going to reduce government wages as much as possible because we still are a little bit away from actually enforcing here. We get an election here, and now we're not anymore... The Industrialists unfortunately lost ownership of every building, and so things are going to be a little bit hectic for a while, but we can put our cautious guy in charge. I think we are going to put this setup here, mainly because these guys are helping us pass mass conscription, which is what the Industrialists are agitating for, which is perfect because we don't have to deal with the clapback of them because they agitated for mass conscription. From this guy we recruited quite a while ago with the idea of agitating for mass conscription, so that pays off. So it's not restore presidential republic, it's enact mass conscription in terms of what they're agitating for, so this works out for us. We are thinking of, man, okay, we didn't assign these guys to the front, but this is perfect. These guys can help us advance this front a lot faster because now there's basically no one here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure all these guys are on some kind of ridiculous pillage is preferable because we want to cause massive turmoil, and we're going to just assign them to the front here. Why are you unassigning from the front, you freaking what the hell? Okay, we got a state. All right, well, I guess we're just going to lose the state because these guys are going to take forever to go to the other side, huh? Wow, they have really that few people there? I guess they're super concerned about their capital. We're also landing north of their capital, which is not in the Russia HQ, but it's just a quick push away from the Russian capital. And so it should be relatively easy for us to push in from there. And then here we are getting a nice little push here. Again, we're running out of money super quick. We see that we have enough authority now to put in a consumption tax, which is going to be nice. This one feels close. I think that we did start the war prematurely, but I guess it's not premature if you finish, you know what I mean? Alright, it's looking like this war is coming to a bit of a conclusion here, which is going to be super nice because we're pushing in on the capital. We have raked back both of our conscription edicts that we used to kind of loud card the, you know, initial salvo of the war, and now we're pushing in here on the capital. I don't think they can hold this. Spain's already capitulated out, so it's just a matter of us getting the war goals. We also might just get the Belarusian war goal here, and so that will be a bit of a thing. Let's take some enactment chance here. Hopefully we can push through mass conscripts, because if not, then the Industrialists will be really bad. But the Industrialists also just don't exist anymore, which is really unfortunate. I think that we kind of wanted to do... I mean, if we can swap back to interventionism, we will. Now laissez-faire is going to suck balls, though. Laissez-faire is going to be no good anymore, because... this is no longer owned by a capitalist now, is it? Everything is owned by the workers or by a foreign company, unless we just appropriated everything. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of stuff owned by foreign companies, though. Yeah, so for here, for example, Austria owns these buildings. And our capitalists only own buildings that are overseas. So, for example, our capitalists own some of these buildings. Actually, this is nationally owned by foreign investment. I think that our capitalists are allowed to buy some of these, and so this might shake out like this. See, financial districts in Silesia own these. And so we still have some capitalists kicking around because we've invested in foreign countries more than anything else. But this switch to Council Republics, not exactly what we wanted, but there was a 0% chance we could win this war through a rev. And there's the capital for us taken from Russia. So now Russia will start ticking down. We don't even mind giving away some of these. We don't mind transfer Pomerania. We might not even want Pomerania, my guys. But I think that we probably just want to enforce everything on them. Unfortunately, we actually lost an interest in Ukraine's area, so we couldn't release Ukraine when the war was kind of warming up. I think we take this just to increase relations with the UK, generally speaking, and they should be ready to capitulate soon because they're like, you know what, we're kind of over this. And you know what, we're kind of over this too. We are just burning money, and we would love to turn on construction and finish stuff, and I'm pretty sure they've raided some convoys. They've raided 0 convoys? Interesting. Well, okay. In either case, it'll be over soon. Alright, it's enforcement time, baby. Look at us. And we have this nice little enclave that we, of course, will agitate towards, but we do have just enough, and I guess we'll take a quick save here, because we have just enough in order to form Poland. We have just enough provinces in order to form Poland, but we'll take a quick save in case something weird happens. I'm not sure exactly what the flavor and event is for this, but we can form Poland. So, for example, we need to form Poland-Lithuania for the achievement. So if this bricks us forming Poland, or if forming Poland bricks Poland-Lithuania, which it shouldn't because this is a kingdom title versus an empire title, we will be in some bad shapes. But we'll get a glorious union. It's very glorious. We get a claim on everywhere, and we have a nice little Poland. Do we have any new journal entries as a result? We retain Christ of Nations. This is another thing that we maybe didn't want to lose. And I'm not seeing anything too crazy, but just as a reminder, the achievement is not yet lost. As Poland-Lithuania, form Poland-Lithuania, which we haven't done yet, and complete expanding the Commonwealth journal entries. So we have to form Poland-Lithuania. So we're on a little bit of borrowed time. I think that our play will be to subjugate Belarus and then decrease autonomy on them and then form. But maybe we're just supposed to actually just take the dirt straight up from Belarus, especially with the new subject interactions. We haven't been able to reduce autonomy on anyone, really. And so, considering this is the state of affairs, maybe we just have to take dirt from them, but it will be a little bit cheaper than it is normal to take dirt off of them. We just have to wait 5 years. And so, you know, we will be looking to take some Belarusian land and some more land from Russia proper, and probably release Ukraine and then take Ukrainian land, something like this. But things are looking very good, and by very good, I mean the border gore is actually probably the worst we've ever caused. So now, we can still foster Polish radicals abroad, and I think we're going to foster them in Russia. Why in Russia? Because what are they going to do about it, bro? Just completely surround it. So, we are delighted to see Germany and Russia fighting, and Poland getting occupied between Germany and Russia. Oh, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right. Yeah, so Germany and Russia fighting over Poland. Classic, as we just kind of sit and watch with our circle around Poland. Yeah, this has to be the worst border gore we've ever done. Even worse than just like isolating people's markets. This is our entire nation has become a circle of death as well. The circle continues with the wheels outside on the car that goes loud, round, and round. But I think we're going to conclude the episode here. We managed to crank up to 100 million GDP during this episode as well. So just in terms of comparison, we are now the number 4 GDP. USA does really, really well on this patch. It just kind of be like that, but our trajectory is absolutely disgusting. We're also gaining pops at a pretty good clip here, even faster than the USA, I assume, although the USA is doing a spectacular job as well. Russia, of course, lost a little bit of pops, and so with these pops, we should be able to continue growing. We have a lot of buffer, but this episode, we mainly had this really kind of sketchy fight with Russia. I wasn't really sure if we could win it. We unfortunately had to abdicate to do Council Republic. I think there's stuff we could have done ahead of time to make it so that that rev would not have been so brutal, but overall, we kind of also don't mind having the cautious guy in charge. This guy's pretty good, and he's only 50, so we will probably get a few more wars out of him that are going to be particularly good. We maybe even want to be kind of proactive about curating generals and admirals so that whoever comes in after him, because we only have a few generals, whoever comes in after him, whether he's a general or whatever this type of thing, is going to also have cautious, because I think with the multilateral alliances bonus, cautious is just the best trait. And so once you have this, once you have the minus infamy generation off of this, cautious is really going to allow you to not just get stuff for less infamy, but unlike infamy decay, which also kind of effectively gives you less infamy, you'll get less negative relations. Relations with the UK have held up. Their attitude score is plus 200. I think that a big part of this is they view us as a protector against Russia, so this is a big one, whereas here we just like don't have the attitude score required to do anything. Let's just kind of take a look at some of these other ones. Attitude score minus 150. Yeah, we took a bunch of their stuff. They don't like that, do they? Hostile relations, militarily threatening neighbor, and then I'm assuming this is going to be hostile relations, militarily threatening neighbor, and also natural enemy. Okay. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode where we fought Russia and created the worst border war ever. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I suppose I won't get many likes because you guys obviously hate this. But other than that, have a good one.